Alright, y'all, man. So, welcome back. Like I said in the intro, dog, it's been a while since I had an episode like this, man. Over the past few months, I've been preparing for the next year. Next year is 2023, so of course, everybody's gonna have the caption. I'm in my Jordan year. How when people turn 23, this my Jordan year, my Jordan bag. You feel me? So that's gonna be the catchphrase for coming in December, right after Thanksgiving. You gonna start. I promise you, right after Thanksgiving, right after that turkey get too old to eat, you gonna start seeing people talk about in my Jordan bag next year. Don't try to get in my store because I'm walking out with my Jordan bag, whatever the lame junk they gonna say, bro. But they gonna be in their Jordan bag. A lot of people gonna be in their Jordans next year. A lot of people gonna be in their Jordans next year. You feel me? But this past couple months, man, I've been just trying to get my mind together for next year. But for real though, if you ain't paying attention to the news and everything around the world, bro, you just gotta next year just don't be on the BS, bro. Speak your mind, dog, and speak your mind strongly, and stand on what you believe in, and then be right to the people around you, bro. That's all I gotta say about next year, bro. Just be right to the people around you. That's neither here nor there. That's not why we're here today. But I've been just kind of thinking, right? Just kind of thinking about 2022, right? Trying to get my mind together and close the book on 2022. You feel me? Trying to start getting together, getting your affairs in order, like they say, like the old folks say, getting your affairs in order and getting ready to go into this next year, man. So I've been trying to think about 2022. What did I do 2022 that I got to make sure I leave in 2022? I can't take this over into a new year that God's blessing me with, dog, or blessing us with, my family with, my wife with. It can't go into the next year with this same stuff that I had in 2022. The one thing that I can honestly say, it's therapy for me, hope it's therapy for you, that I know for a fact I got to kind of leave in 2022 is being scatterbrained, right? And feeling like I'm being scatterbrained, like my mind is just everywhere, and I'm not focused on one particular thing, but my mind is everywhere. Um, you know what I'm saying, dog? So like you saw episodes from me, the beginning of the year, I felt like my back was against the wall. So you start seeing episodes in the summertime, in the spring, in the summertime, on episodes like Saturdays from the Top Floor, The Black Sun. You start seeing episodes like that in series like that because I was kind of punching my way out of a bag. I felt like I was in a wall. My back was against the wall, so I was swinging. I ain't know who I was swinging at, what I was swinging at. I was just swinging, right? Just throwing them, right? Throwing them bows. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that was Brandon being scatterbrained. That was me not focusing on what I was supposed to, not focusing on what God had in front of me, but trying to reach the top with all these ideas I have too quick. You know what I'm saying? And that isn't something that's not how I operate. You feel me? That's not how in the past I've operated, and now I was starting to operate like that, and I felt like, man, you losing yourself, bro. Like you thinking your head is everywhere it's not supposed to be. You feel me? So in the midst of me sitting there feeling like I was scatterbrained, past couple months, say August, I took it upon myself to say, you know what, Brandon, you got to get back in the church. You got to get back to the word, right? So that's the same thing that saved my grandmama. That's the same thing that saved my grandfather. That's the same thing that saved my wife's grandmother. That's the same thing that saved my wife's grandfather. That's the same thing that saved my great grandfather. That's the same thing that saved my great great grandfather. You feel me what I'm saying? So if that's the same thing that saved them, what makes me think it can't save me? You understand what I'm saying? You catching what I'm saying? So I start getting back to the word, dog. I start realizing, I would watch church on TV. I would watch it on my phone, watch it on listening to it, but not being in the presence. But sometimes you got to be in the presence of God to get his presence. If you see what I'm saying, if you get what I'm saying, man. But I started to go back to church, man. And once I started going back to church, I started to realize past couple months, I was telling my wife, my algorithm on my phone with TikTok then kind of changed. I used to get all these crazy videos, I ain't even gotta walk in with my two, you know what I'm saying? All y'all know what I'm saying on TikTok. I ain't even got this, I don't see them videos no more. The videos I see now are mostly cooking, grilling, smoked meats, as I said in the intro. Usually cooking, grilling, funny videos, pet videos. I told you about Riley. And then also I've been getting a lot of biblical and Bible videos. People just reading the Bible, people talking about the word that I find interesting. I try to hear people's point of view about the word sometimes. Not all that crazy stuff, but some of the, I try to listen to the people's view and point about the word. Some people have valid thoughts. Some people kind of, like I said, kind of they still scatterbrain a little bit. But I start listening to more biblical talk and more Bible stuff and the right type of things, right? And it made me think. I came across this one just this morning, just the other day, man, just this morning, a couple hours ago, about the Tower of Babel, right? And so, if you're not familiar with that story, the Tower of Babel or Babel, they tried to build. I ain't gonna get too much into it. And I'm still trying to do my research for thorough research on it. But from what I got, is the basis of it is they tried to build this tower up to heaven, right? Some people say they built this tower because they didn't want the land, they didn't want people to be all scattered around in the city. They wanted the people to be in one area, and then you had like your lower class. Then the higher up people would live at the top of the tower, right? So they'll live at the top, which is closest to God. So they'll live at the top, and so God sat there and said, why y'all sitting here trying to build a tower close and get closer to me? You get closer to me by enjoying each other and doing good things on this earth that I provided for you. But you steady trying to go up, 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 build, 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 build. But I want you at the surface level, handling everything at the surface level. Um, and so God destroyed the tower, right? He destroyed the tower by putting in different languages. Nobody spoke the same language. So they would go, you can't tell him to go get this cinder block if he don't understand what you talking about. Right? You can't tell him to get the cement if he don't understand what you talking about. You can't tell him that this need to go over here. You want the furniture here because he don't know what you saying to him. Right? So God changed the language amongst all these people. And so he changed the language, and when he changed the language, these people scattered. So where man had tried to say, I don't want no scatter. I want you to all be focused on this right now. I want you all be focused on building this tower for us. God said, that ain't what I want you to do. You listening to man, that ain't what I want you to do. So you know what? Here you go, I'm gonna scatter this. He had already put this Noah's Ark, he had already flooded the earth. So he said, okay, y'all still not paying attention. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna change all the languages, right? So he changed all the languages and the people scattered, right? But it made me start thinking back to what I said. I was feeling scattered brain. I was feeling like my mind was everywhere it wasn't supposed to be. So I feel like once again it's therapy for me. Hope it's therapy for you, dog. If you feel the same way, hopefully it's reaching you, dog. But I felt like I was scatterbrained. I felt like my mind was everywhere it wasn't supposed to be. But then I was like, man, B, why you feeling like this? But then I saw this story this morning. Man, here it is, 5:35, Sunday, November 20th, man. I like the time date so you'll understand what I'm talking about right now, man. I felt like I was scatterbrained, and I realized that the same story, just like God put in a different language to scatter the people to do his work. Sometimes God makes you feel like you scatterbrained, to go back to your basis, to go back to that surface level of what you need to do, to pinpoint what you need to do. Okay, you felt scatterbrained, just like he scattered the people with different languages and made them scatter across the world to do his deeds and to let his will be done, because that wasn't his will, that was man's will. That was man's will. That was Brandon's will, to shooting out all these episodes, doing all this stuff, right? Like I was doing, right? To do that because I wanted to keep growing. I wanted to keep growing. I thought that would escalate my growth by doing these early, doing these, not taking my time with it. So he had the scatterbrain, make me feel like I was scatterbrained to bring me back down to my surface, which was going back to church. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes when you feel like you scatterbrained, sit back. Sit back. When you feel like your mind is everywhere, all over the place, you don't feel like yourself, sit back. Sit back and relax, man. And go back to the one thing that you had as a child, and that was the word, man. That's why your parents and that's why your family took you to church, dog. Because they wanted you to understand and get that knowledge. So one day when you go out there into that world, that you'll somehow you might say, you know what I need? I need the word of God. I need to go back to the word. You feel me what I'm saying? You feel me what I'm saying, dog? So I just want to drop that word off to you, man. If you feel like you being scatterbrained, if you feel like you doing all this, remember the same person who saved your grandmama, the same person who saved your auntie, the same person who saved your favorite cousin, the same person who saved your great grandmama, the same person who saved your great grandfather, the same person who can save you, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the Lord and Savior, dog. I just had to come and drop that off to you real quick, man. You know we don't try to get too religious, dog, but when I can, I have to put that word in your ear real quick. Some way, somehow I can, dog. But just if you feeling scatterbrained, just as I was, dog, trying to throw all these things out, man. All these different episodes I had, bro. You know what I'm saying? I still got more in the chamber that I'm thinking of, but I had to realize don't be a scatterbrain, bro. Take your time with it. You feel me? That's the one thing, man. The patience, bro. I steady talk about it each and every time I was doing these type of episodes. It's patience. It's patience. When they say patience is key, that I can truly understand and believe that patience is key, man. Patience is key, dog. And that's the one thing, man, I learned since I've gotten back in the word, dog, is having patience. You feel me? You can't read the whole Bible in a day. It takes time and it takes patience to sit and understand it, dog. So it's gonna take time and patience to understand what your journey in life is. And don't try to expedite it by doing different things, thinking if you do this, thinking if you do that, this will get you where you need to be. Nah, bro. Not immediately. It may in the 20 years from now, it may 15 years from now, but not right now it won't. Not right now it won't, man. So I just had to drop that off to you real quick, man. 2023, while you in your Jordan year, please don't go into your Jordan year scatterbrain, man. Don't go to your Jordan year scatterbrain, dog. And if you are, allow him to let you break it. Allow him to break you down to the surface level, back to where you need to be. Back to where you think you up on this high horse, man. You doing good. You getting the likes. You getting the follows. You getting the listeners. You getting the views. But he'll find a way to break you back down. Just in the midst of you thinking that you doing so great, he'll find a way to break you back down to the surface level, man. Just like he did in the story of the Tower of Babel. He brought them back down, man, scattered the language and made them folks go all around to do his will, man. Let his will be done. You know, that's all I want to touch on you real quick, man. Touch with you real quick, dog. Touch on you, man. Pause. My bad for saying that, dog. But that's all I want to drop on you real quick, bro. Don't go into 2023 being scatterbrained, man. We hopefully, God willing, we're gonna keep going with these episodes, man. Smoke Screen Podcast, bro. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man.